No, I ain't worried about Chris. I'm focusing the voodoo over here on Ole Miss.
You shush. You shush.
AstroTurf in a bag of fleas. Your QB now has backwards knees.
As for
Go to
Jackson
hell,
Dart,
LSU.
All right, week 7, I believe, is upon us here. But before we get to that, I got one thing to say, Chris.
I don't want to hear it. I really don't. Kill me now.
The game man. I did not expect out of the LSU Tigers, where they beat Ole Miss in overtime. What a game.
Yeah, I mean, as salty as I am, that was one hell of a game. Like, you couldn't ask for a really good matchup between two top 15 ranked teams. Like, it was a classic showdown. In fact, it was a classic Ole Miss LSU showdown, just like the good old days when LSU and Ole Miss would just battle to the death.
And
especially
as we were
Valley.
talking about during that game, I don't care what the rivalry games have been, and that, like, LSU, now their rival is supposed to be Oklahoma, was Texas A&M. Some people said it's Bama. I've always said it's Ole Miss.
I've been saying it's at the same thing, except vice versa. Ole Miss and LSU's rivalry goes deep. Like, we're talking well over 100 years of rivalry. Sorry, the cat's trying to get in the camera here. But yeah, 100 years of rivalry. I said no. Sorry, y'all. 100 years of rivalry is like it goes way back, and it's always a classic showdown. It's never, hardly ever a blowout between either. Well, maybe when LSU was like 2019 LSU, for example, they would kick off butts, and there were several other instances. But, things happen, games like that happen. So, but it was a classic showdown.
Yep.
Couldn't ask for a better game. I wish my Rebs came out on top, but
LSU's defense actually came to play for once. That was unexpected for me. Like I said last week, did not expect them to win that game. I fully expected to come out of that with a loss, but just like back in, what was it, 2022, they surprised me.
For real. Yeah, because I expected Ole Miss's offense to just kind of tear up LSU's defense like these other teams were doing to them, but LSU actually came to play that day, and, it's hard to beat LSU in Tiger Stadium. There's only a handful of teams that have done that in the recent memory. Most recently, I think it was Tennessee and Alabama, but those were like years apart. But overall, it's hard to beat LSU there. That's one of my least favorite places to play at, to be honest. But here we are. And as promised, wearing an LSU shirt since I lost the bet on the podcast. So, here to eat my crow. So, there you have it.
There is one thing that we need to kind of talk about from that game, Chris, and I know you saw it too. And being an Ole Miss fan, you might deny it a little bit, but why is Ole Miss faking injuries?
Okay, unlike most Ole Miss fans who are trying to deny and say, "Oh, this is nothing. Everybody does it." No, I'm sorry. I'm gonna be that Ole Miss fan and say that I'm so sick of it. It's making us look stupid. It's making us look like we can't handle a fast-paced kind of game. Like, I noticed the trend starting when we played against Tennessee. Tennessee has a very similar style of offense to ours, and suddenly the fake injuries started popping up left and right. Now, it wasn't as prevalent as that at that point. Slowly but surely, it's gotten worse. It's like it's become so obvious. It's just like, okay.
I think the most obvious one from this past week, I can't remember when it happened specifically, but I think it's in the highlights too, and there's clips of it floating around where I think it's one of your defensive linemen. He stands up, he's perfectly fine, looks over to the sidelines, looks back, and falls over.
Oh yeah, that's just one instance. My least favorite, and this was back when Ole Miss played Kentucky, was when Jackson Dart literally signaled his running back to go down as if was injured. It's like, bruh, you are embarrassing us. Lane Kiffin, look, I get it is there's nothing in the rule book in the college football that says you can't do that. It's technically legal. But at the same time, it's really making us look bad, and I'm really sick of it. Like Lane Kiffin, if you hear this, I'm sure you won't, but if you are hearing this, please stop because it's driving me up the wall. It's making us look stupid every week, and everyone's cracking jokes. So it's like, oh, Ole Miss can't handle games like that. I'm like, we can, but we choose not to, and that's infuriates me. So I'm sorry. I'm that Ole Miss fan. I'm totally against this whole fake injury crap that I've been witnessing lately. It makes the university look weak.
Yeah,
And that's my final say
it's
about it.
not a good look for Ole Miss.
It's not.
But
It really isn't.
there are a couple other games from college football to mention from this past week, and outside of the games, with the rankings now, of course Texas is number one currently. Alabama has now fallen to 7th place, with LSU right behind them at 8. Will's Aggies have moved up to 14 after losing their first game of the season. And as kind of expected, with 2 losses, Ole Miss has fell to 18.
Yep, we deserve it. I, I feel like if we hadn't lost to Kentucky, we at least be still maybe at 15, maybe 14, give or take. But that Kentucky loss is really starting to hurt us. Like entering this season, I'll be quick with this. Entering this season, I expected 2 losses. I wasn't sure who we would lose to. But I presumed it would be LSU and Georgia. Well, we got LSU. I got the LSU one right, but I did not see Kentucky coming, not by a stretch. So because we lost to them, that makes it even harder because technically we have to win out in order to make the college football playoff. We gotta hope some of
That's
these
not even
teams
to
ahead of
make
us
it though.
start.
That's to have a chance.
Yeah. So, uh, I, I'm t- like I'm at the point where I'm thinking it might be over for Ole Miss. I hope I'm wrong, but it's not looking good. Like we really shot ourselves in the foot this season, and typical Ole Miss. That's all I can say.
The only other games I wanted to mention, Bama and South Carolina. What a game that was!
Hello.
Oh my god. Yes.
Wait, what are you saying, Will?
Wait, what?
You cutting out there a little bit. Oh,
Okay.
that was
I
weird.
don't think I don't think he was talking to us.
I don't think so either.
But moving on, the Bama South Carolina game was great. The beginning looked like Bama was about to just steamroll over them, and then right before halftime, something happened with South Carolina. They woke up. What was it? 17 unanswered points in like 3 minutes.
Yep. And they managed to bring it so it was like 14-12 at halftime, and then they scored their first opening drive in the second half to give them the lead. Sadly, it did not last long. I tell you, man, South Carolina was this close.
They had multiple chances.
Winning.
They had multiple chances to win that game, and they kind of screwed up each one of them. It's not that Bama won that game. They got completely outplayed by South Carolina. Bama didn't win it. South Carolina lost it.
Agreed. Yes, and it's like Bama does not look good this year. Like I'm just saying it. Yeah, sure they beat Georgia, but I think that was just like a lucky stint they just had.
I'm gonna be real with you. I don't think Georgia's
just,
that good either.
I mean, you might be right. Georgia may not be good either. So it's like we really don't know until Georgia plays. I don't know who they got next, but I would hope it'd be someone up to their caliber, like say Texas, for example. Um, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how the rest of this college football season plays out. But yeah, like it's just I think, in my opinion, for this college football season, this is the wildest I've ever seen because it seems like every weekend so far there's been an upset, and
Yeah.
it's like Oregon took down Ohio State.
Yeah, which that
Honestly,
alone was a very interesting way of for Ohio State to lose that game. Uh,
for real.
I believe
By the
that
way,
one
while
went
on
to
the topic,
overtime.
by the way, while we're on the topic of Ohio State and Oregon, we got to give a shout out to the Duck. The Duck was hilarious.
The Duck is a menace.
We must. Yes, at one point during college game day, the Duck was shaving some random student's head, like just giving him a little buzz cut of some
Yeah,
sort. It was
right behind Nick
hilarious.
Saban.
Yes. So,
The Duck is undefeated.
but he really is.
But
So,
let's
but anyway,
let's move on here and go to some of the
yes,
NFL games from last week real quick before we move into this week. We got to talk
yes.
about it as much as I don't want to. Saints Bucks. My God, what happened?
I don't know what the heck happened here. Like, they got us in the first half. Like, it looked like the Saints may have were.
They
It
had us
looked
in the
like the
first
Saints
half.
were.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, they had us in the first half. The Saints actually looked good in the first half, despite all the injuries that they have sustained. And then the second half came along, and reality came to check. However, the one takeaway I'm gonna have from this game: Spencer Rattler looks really good. Like he had his bumps in the second half, which we expect a rookie quarterback to make some mistakes here and there. But in that first half alone, oh boy, I
He
think you
shows
develop him
promise.
over. Yeah, he shows a lot of promise. Like he was actually throwing the ball to receivers and tight ends who hardly ever get the ball. Like for example, Juwan Johnson had a pretty good day that day. He even got to what's that? Foster Moreau. He even started throwing to Bub Memes, who's also a rookie wide receiver that we picked up this past draft,
Yeah, which
who's
he
never
had to
seen the.
after Olave went down with a severe concussion.
Yeah, so man, it was just like he started passing the ball around to these guys. It's like, who are these guys? They actually look pretty good.
And to be honest with
Then,
you, it's not just passing that. He was okay passing the ball. He had the 2 interceptions. That's whatever. Uh,
yeah,
it's the mobility that I see the upside with.
yes. And we've been talking about how bad the O line has looked all season, uh, especially with the injuries they've sustained. He made it look like the O line wasn't a problem in that first half. Now, of course, in the second half, that was a different story, sadly. But in the end, like I have a little hope in our quarterback. I don't. Do I think he's going to save this season? No, sadly, no.
I think this season is too far gone at this point. Not because of the team itself, but it's the injuries, dude. We are banged up severely.
I know. Like the list I saw, the injury report I saw today is huge. We have 15 players on the injury list. That is the most I've seen in a hot minute. And the worst part of it is today we received news that Shaheed tore his meniscus at some point in Sunday's game. He got surgery today. Now they say they're hoping he could be back in a few weeks, but there's a good possibility he might be out for the season.
Which would be
That's
a
already a big
massive
blow.
blow.
Yeah, and that's just not good. Like we do not need to hear that kind of news, us Saints fans. Now we really need receiver help. Sadly, though, a lot of these big time receivers were traded to other teams. Davante Adams went to the Jets.
No surprise
Um,
there.
yeah, no surprise at all. Mari Cooper went to the Bills, which none of us saw that coming.
Josh Allen is that man's
um,
savior. He has freed him
yes,
from the clutches of Deshaun Diddy Watson.
yep, and Paulo is quite happy to have him on board too. I know that for a fact.
Yes.
um, So, but with that aside, the Saints I think the Saints are cooked at this rate.
My question is,
injuries are
what
just-
the heck happened to our defense in the second half? We
I
just
don't know.
completely we couldn't stop anything.
It was
Part of it, I would assume, is because they were tired, because the offense wasn't staying out there long enough for them to get rest before they went back out. But I don't know. I don't know what's going on anymore.
I don't know either. And I just checked the stats before we started this podcast. We are second to last in defense. That is bad. And
Total or just in a specific area?
In a specific area, which would be like yards after the other team breaks tackle or something like that.
Oh, yards after a catch or something like that, or yards after contact.
We are second to last in that, and overall defense we're like 25.
Yeah,
that's bad. Like, of course, like we said, injuries have played a part of it, but at the same time, the defense, even with a few injuries here and there, has always been really good. So what the heck happened? Like, did the defense just have an off day, or is this team just poorly coached, which I fully expect, considering we have Dennis Allen as our head coach, who keeps making the same old excuses every week.
And outside of Allen, it may be some problems with more than just him. Chris, can you pull up the quote from earlier today by our GM?
Yes. So let me find it real quick.
It was enough to send a lot of us Saints fans into a bit of rage. Let's just say that.
Yes. All right. So this was from. Go ahead.
You're fine.
Oh, okay. So this was from Mickey Loomis in his little press conference from yesterday. Somebody asked him. One of the reporters asked him to be shout out to Nick Underhill. He's our Saints beat inside reporter. He asked him if what has happened so far this season is a likely chance that Dennis Allen gets fired due to the results. He says that yes, you gotta take the results under account, but you gotta also look beyond the results.
No,
I'm sorry.
No,
what?
you don't.
No, you don't. The results do matter, Mickey Loomis. I'm about to go on a rant here, but Mickey Loomis, if you think the results don't matter, then enjoy losing the rest of this season due to not just injuries but poor coaching. Because Dennis Allen cannot coach this team. He cannot develop players. He has done nothing for this team in now 3 years. It's like, how many more games is it going to take until you fully wake up and realize he is a bad coach? There's a reason why the Raiders let him go several years ago. There's a reason, because he is a bad coach. There's nothing else to it. That really irritated me. It's like Mickey Loomis. At this point, I think Mickey Loomis should be fired, because if he's that all up in his you know what, it's like this team is doomed.
It's just saying that you have to look beyond the results for your coach. That tells me that they don't want to let him go. Probably because he's not costing them a lot of money.
Probably not. And it's like, do you want the Saints to be competitive again? Do you want to see another Super Bowl again? Like, do you want them to at least be competent again? It's like, we're not even competent. We're just straight up trash. It's terrible, man. And us Saints fans, we're just over it. At this point, we may as well just stop going to football games and just not give them our money, our hard-earned money.
I mean, why do you think tickets? Why do you think tickets for tomorrow's game are $16?
Because nobody wants to go. And the worst part, Drew Brees is supposed to be inducted to the Saints Hall of Fame tomorrow night. So it's like, that's a big occasion, but does anybody really want to go see the Saints play like garbage? And the worst part, against our former head coach coming into town? which we'll touch up on that later. But
it's rough. It's rough being a Saints fan this year after when they showed so much promise, but if nothing's gonna change until Allen is gone, I think.
I agree. Like, the Saints are screwed. That's all we can say. And we're in a sad reality that we could wind up being one of the worst teams in the NFL if this keeps up.
Well, moving on, there's only a couple other games I wanted to mention. Number one, Browns and Eagles. What the heck is wrong with the Eagles? How did you let the Browns keep up with you?
Oh boy.
20-16. How?
I don't know. Like, I thought the Eagles would come in there having AJ Brown back and Devontae Smith back. I thought, yeah, easily they're putting up at least 30, maybe 40 points. They did not do that. They only put up 20, letting the Browns keep up. Oh boy. Talk about embarrassing.
It was not a good time. And now apparently the Eagles coach, from what I understand, is also possibly on the hot seat.
Oh yeah, because I saw a clip where he was literally yelling at fans after the game was over. It's like, why are you yelling at fans? Like, yeah, I get Eagle fans are trash because they're all.
Was it Eagles fans or was it Browns fans he was yelling at? Because I've seen the clip, I just haven't seen what was in the stands.
From what I heard, it was Eagles fans. He was yelling at his own fan base. It's like,
yeah, I heard some stuff about him getting booed by the fans. So yeah, that tracks. But
yeah,
the other game to mention is the Lions waltzing into Jerry World on his birthday and embarrassing the Cowboys.
Ouch! Like
47-9.
What's worse, they did that on Jerry Jones' 82nd birthday.
And I'm about to rant about Jones for a second here. I don't know if y'all have seen this, but there is a clip going around of when he appeared on a radio show, and the guy was asking him some tough questions, and Jerry was not having it, and he threatened to get him fired, and said that he could replace him with someone who could ask him questions more favorable to him.
Oh my God.
That's why you're in this situation, Jerry.
Yep. Oh, wow. That really makes Jerry Jones look like he can't handle tough questions. Like,
no, it's not that. He can't handle criticism. He wants an echo chamber. He wants yes men.
Yeah, well, you're not going to get that. Not everybody wants to be a yes man.
I hate the Cowboys. I hate them. I hate them, and I hate their owner.
I've always hated them all my life. Just like the Falcons. Screw the Falcons.
All right. Well, let's move on. Week 7. First game up. We all know what it is. Saints and Broncos.
I hate it here. There's just no doubt in my mind. It's gonna be the Broncos. Like,
that's the thing, though. I don't know about this, man. Because, like we've said, the Broncos' defense is pretty good. We know their offense isn't that great, but we've been so bad and we're so injured. I don't know what to do.
And here's the other thing. Knowing this Saints defense in the last couple of years, we suck at rookie quarterbacks. We do not contain them very well, and I know Bo Nix isn't that mobile of a quarterback like Jalen Hurts, for example, but at the same time, I guarantee Sean Payne's probably cooking up some wonderful playlist that's going to absolutely decimate this Saints defense to the ground. Like, I'm just seeing it. It's like the vision is crystal clear, 2020, all of that. I just don't see the Saints winning this whatsoever. Like, I hope Rattler continues to play well, and I hope he kind of makes it close. But at the same time, he doesn't really have anybody to throw. He's got nobody to protect him. He's gonna have a rough. I got a bad feeling he's gonna have a rough day against that Denver defense.
Yeah, I think I gotta go Broncos.
Well,
Same.
I'll be that guy. I'll take the
You
Saints
gotta
in this
be kidding.
matchup. I know we've been bad, but I liked what I saw from Rattler in the first half. Last game, and that was his first start.
But my question to you,
injuries.
Paulo, is
What?
who is he throwing to now? Bub Means is
Same
essentially
people he was throwing to last time. Olave
no,
was out for the majority of the game
because now he's got no Olave
Shaheed didn't
and
get
no
that many
Shaheed.
receptions. Shaheed didn't do all that much in terms of receiving in the last game, anyway.
It's just I don't
The
know
Broncos
if I
are
can.
just not. I mean, we saw the Broncos last week. The Broncos versus the Chargers kind of went exactly how I thought it would. Like, the Broncos are just not that team. Like, they're pretty decent, but I don't know. I feel like we got home field advantage. We'll see we gotta win.
I hope you're right, because I just don't see it.
Up to Will.
Little faith.
I mean, I had faith last week. It didn't work.
Yeah, you shouldn't have last week.
Unfortunately, I don't think the Saints win this one. I've been with them majority of the season, but I don't think they win this one, even though it is at home. Like Jose said, Olave's out, Shaheed is out. You still have Kamara. I do see what Paulo's saying though. He's got Shaheed really wasn't involved, which isn't Shaheed's fault. That's Rattler's fault for not really throwing to him, getting the ball to him.
Who is it now we've got left? We've got Bub Means, we've got
Jawan Johnson, Kamara,
Tipton,
Williams.
It's
Tipton. The main thing is that rookie coming into their first real games as impact players, Bub Means and Rattler look like they had a pretty decent connection, which I'm expecting to continue into this week. And then, like, sure, you don't have your other two receivers, but it's not like Rattler really had like time to develop connections with them. Like, he can do that with other guys. Still got Tipton, still got Jawan Johnson, Foster Moreau have been putting in work low key this season, so just involve the tight ends. You got Kamara.
I think the Broncos defense is going to stand out a little bit more against Rattler than
against a banged up Saints offense. The only thing that's going to give them trouble, I think, and I don't mean the passing game's not going to give them trouble. There's probably going to be some moments where Rattler gets some big passes or a big run or something. It's the run game that's pretty much the only thing I think was going to gash that defense. And that's an if. But still, I think it's 3-1 Broncos.
Yeah, this time it's the reverse, because last week I picked the Saints. I was the odd man out, and, well, that didn't work, so...
Well, next game up, another game in London. Yes, we got it wrong last week. It was in London. Jaguars, Patriots. Jaguars are staying over in London. I want to pick the Jaguars, but I don't know if I can. They just don't show me anything that tells me they can win. Especially now missing ETN.
I don't want to pick the Jaguars at all. Not only because they're a division rival, but just based on what we've seen from them all season long. Just atrocious.
And yes, we can say that they did good against the Texans, but that's a division game. That is a different thing.
That's a division game, though. But I have more faith in Drake May after watching him play us last week than I do Trevor Lawrence in that offense.
Yep.
Way more faith in Drake May.
That's actually a pretty fair point.
I'm saying Patriots.
Patriots
over Trevor Lawrence.
I'm doubling down and taking the
no.
Jaguars. They let me down this
Get
past week,
out of here.
but the
Yeah, wow.
Bears are legit. Is the difference? The Patriots aren't really.
Okay, hold up, and we can
Time
talk
out.
about this later if we want to, but most of the wins for the Bears are against teams that only have one win.
Yeah, the Bears haven't yet to beat a good team.
So I don't think you can say they're legit until they beat a good team. Their defense looks legit, but
I can't prove they're legit, but I could definitely say they're legit.
I know, but I'm just
because
saying,
of the
I don't
way
know if
that
you
their
can call
offensive
them that.
defense has been looking.
Why do you
Again,
think I shared
against
that
bad
game?
teams.
I am calling them that.
It doesn't seem like something you should do when they've only beaten bad teams.
Yes.
But
Well,
that's
how.
So Paulo's
It is
Jaguars,
refreshing.
me and Willard Patriots, Chris.
I'm taking Patriots.
Paulo the odd man out twice in a row.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
Like, yeah, sure.
I'll
My
take
only
it.
concern for this matchup would be Drake May, but he got. I feel like after last week where he got just tossed around like a sack of potatoes. I think he might have a bit of a bounce back this week, and the Jags defense is nothing to talk about. And the Jaguars offense, they struggle week in and week out. There's nothing good to talk about the Jaguars. I think the Jaguars will keep it close, but I still got the Patriots winning by at least 3.
Well, 3-1 again. Next up, Seahawks,
Yep.
Falcons. Seahawks have been on fraud watch and I think been proven as frauds at this point.
Yes.
I'm taking Falcons all day, especially in Atlanta.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Falcons as well. I hate picking the Falcons. I just want to puke every time I do that. But 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 the Falcons, they're more superior than the Seahawks in this matchup. The Seahawks at first I thought, oh, maybe they finally look they look actually pretty good, but now they're slowly but surely showing their true colors. It's like the Niners just completely rattled them last week. It wasn't even close all that great. Yeah, give me the Falcons all day. I think the Falcons might actually win by 10 in this matchup.
Yeah, I'll take the Falcons as well. And it's not that I don't think the Seahawks are good. I just think that the Falcons are clicking on all cylinders right now. They're not giving me any reason to doubt them right now.
Yep.
Especially coming off a win versus the Bucks, and then just kind of walking all over the Panthers. Like, I can't sit here and say they can't beat the Seahawks.
Yeah.
Will. I'm assuming Falcons.
Yes. Yeah, of course. Big Kirko. Always Big Kirko. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the way they're playing right now, like they're gonna keep building on it. I mean, don't get me wrong, like the Seahawks are having a good season. I mean, it's still DK, Smith and Jigba, Tyler Lockett, Kenneth Walker's back and he looked good. But I still think the Falcons have put more together in these last couple of weeks that'll just allow them to come out on top.
Yep. Oh,
Yeah.
All in agreement on this one. Next up, and this one I think is also going to be all in agreement. Titans at the Bills. Is there any question?
Bill is all day. And for the love of God, please, James Cook, please play this week because you screwed me over this past
That's your
week.
fault for not looking.
I did look. They said he was likely to play, and suddenly he doesn't play. It's like, what the heck? It's not my fault. But anyway, with that aside, Bills all day.
Especially after the addition of Mari Cooper now. Though
yes,
we're not sure if he's going to play. Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't think he's supposed to play this coming week since it's already close to game day coming up. But
it's a near certainty that they should win this, and if Cooper does play, the win chance goes up.
Yeah, agreed. So for this week, Bills are gonna probably decimate the Titans, I would presume. This Titans just saying no chance. There's just simply nothing good to talk about the Titans. So I have the Bills winning by 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, should be Bills easily. The only team that I could see the Titans even like if it was a matchup between the Titans and any team, I think the only one I would pick them over right now might be the Browns.
Yeah.
Definitely Bills.
The only good thing to come out of the Titans is the Will Levis memes.
Yes. I wonder what memes we get this week.
Well, this past week he bulldozed a what was it, a camera guy or something? Messed up his leg.
A ball boy, I think.
Yeah.
He broke the ball boy's leg.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Ugh. Man, getting him a fat insurance check.
Yes. Will, your thoughts?
I know exactly what he's about
yes,
to say.
destruction, fire, damnation, all of it.
Yep, there it is.
Yeah, I mean,
There we go.
obviously I want them to lose, but here's the thing: the Bills, we said with the addition of Amari Cooper, they didn't need Amari Cooper to beat the Titans. Like that's just going to be insult to injury, is all that is. Like with Shakir, with Keon Coleman, Kincaid, Knox, even Ray Davis, the rookie. Like they didn't even need James Cook. Ray Davis had himself a day, so yeah, I think it's kind of obvious.
Well,
Bills by 21.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, dang.
I can see it, though.
Yeah, me too.
Next up, Bengals at the Browns. Even with the Bengals' bad defense, quote unquote bad because they've actually looked like they're improving a little bit. The Browns still suck. It's Bengals.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the Bengals are going to give the Browns the business, despite this being a divisional game. They just, oh my God, Apollo, Jose, excuse me, wrong person.
Oh, what? What? Because we both Mexican?
Oh no. That's what I get for like flipping screens back and forth. But anyway, so. What was my train of thought? Oh, that's right. Bengals are going to give the Browns a business this week. They stand no chance. The Browns' offense sucks. Like Deshaun Watson sucks,
And now have lost their
Everything
wide
with them-
receiver one.
Yep, they just lost the wide receiver one, Amari Cooper. Yeah, I'm taking Browns. But I am stumbling over my words tonight. Jeez. Bengals by 2 touchdowns in this matchup.
Yeah, I'm taking Bengals as well. The Browns, it'll be interesting to see how the Browns look with the potential of Nick Chubb playing, even though I'm not sure what the status of that is, and with Amari Cooper gone. But I don't think, like, I mean, what are you gonna do? Like, the Bengals' bad defense can still stop the Browns' bad offense. And the Browns' defense hasn't looked that great this year. The Bengals are going to beat them handily, I think.
Yeah. Will, your thoughts?
I do concur. Yeah, I mean the Browns is just a dumpster fire all season long. Nothing about them has any potential besides Nick Chubb coming back.
Which, by the way, I'm looking at it right now.
Um,
Full participant in practice today, but they have said if he is able to play, he will be on a pitch count.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah, and then Jerome Ford isn't even going to be starting. It doesn't even look like.
No, I think he's hurt too.
Or like he's injured. So, but then I mean, what you have Jerry Jeudy and Joku, who else do you even have out there? Like I don't. As much as the Bengals have struggled, I have more faith in them because they've shown the potential. We saw what they did against the Ravens. There's more potential there, obviously, than what the Browns have going for them. And I sent Jose. I don't know if he watched it. I sent him a clip on TikTok from one of the sports groups I follow, and they said at this point, the Browns are just punishing Deshaun Watson.
Yep.
They don't even want to pull him. They want him to suffer.
Yeah, they're humiliating
And-
him. They're publicly humiliating
Yeah, they're just
him.
humiliating him based on his gameplay, and that's just their thought process. I think that maybe this is the Browns doing to them so that he suffers for the way he's playing. But
more than just the way he's playing, brother.
We're not gonna pull him. Yeah. So who knows? But I think it's hilarious. He's getting everything he deserves and then some.
Yep.
And I hope like Eric Hendricks just teabagged him like 12 times in the game.
Bulldozed. Gone. Dead. Next up.
Deceased.
Texans at the Packers.
Don't care.
It's
Texans
gonna be
by
a good.
10.
It's gonna be a great game, though.
Oh yeah,
This game is gonna be
100%.
so solid. Watching Jordan Love last week with 4 touchdowns. Watching Stroud, the way they played Joe Mixie back. Tank Dell stepping up. Him and Diggs had equal catches. They both went 6 or 7 receptions and 70 yards and a touchdown each. And then Damian Pierce looking like old Damian Pierce before, like his rookie year. Yes, it was the Patriots, I know, but it just looked very well put together. And this is a much harder defense and offense to play against. So this is going to be, D'Amico said it himself, this is the best team they've played all season. So I think this is going to be like a difference maker for sure. But staying true to the red and blue, Texans by 3.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the same.
See that? Yeah. I'm gonna take the same as well.
I'll be real with you. I don't even know. Like, how are the Texans gonna look against a good team without Nico?
That's the thing, though.
Don't get me wrong. I can definitely see like there's a very high possibility that the Packers win. It's in Lambeau. Like I can see it. The weather is also starting to be cooling off. There's a cold front moving across the whole U.S. So Lambeau is about to be a lot colder than what they're used to. Like, don't get me wrong. I know the probabilities probably favor. I haven't even looked at it, but it does favor Green Bay. I know for a fact. But doesn't matter. I still say you got to stay true to it. I'm not going to leave their side. I don't care who they play. But there is a very high chance that Jordan Love's going to win.
Yeah, I hate to do this to you, but I gotta take the Packers.
Hey,
Third time today. Third time today.
The other two, atrocious. This one, I give him credit on this one because this one is a lot closer than the mother call's a little questionable. This one a little bit better.
And to answer your question, Paulo, about Nico not being there, the thing is with the Texans, even without Nico, you've got Diggs, you've got Tank Dell, you still got what's his name, Will Brown. I think he's still with y'all.
Robert Woods?
No, who was it?
Let's talk about Noah Brown.
Yeah.
Noah Brown, yeah.
Not to mention
Dalton Schultz,
Cade Stover,
Damian Pierce, Agumbawale.
Y'all are still stacked without Nico.
Xavier Hutchinson, John Mechie. Yeah, like we still have people that we're not even fully using.
Yeah, I mean that's true.
But I agree with Paulo.
But
like,
it doesn't always look the same though.
Yeah, Jordan Love, you got Dobbs, you got Wicks, you got Christian Watson, you got Tucker Kraft, who's really stepped up. Like that's a hitter. Like that defense is also very scary. Like that's why that whole division, the whole NFC North, right, they're all just absolutely killers right now.
Yeah, best division in football right now, honestly.
Yeah.
But
I can concur with that.
It's a 3v1 again.
So be it.
Next up, Dolphins at the Colts. I assume Richardson's playing this time.
Yes. Yeah. They're saying as long as he's healthy, he's going to start over Flacco. Like they're going to bench Flacco again. Flacco had a shaky week last week anyways. He went 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Even if A-Rich is healthy, they're going to play him. But let's be honest, he's not having a good season. Yeah. Like, if you go back and look at the games he did play, like, they were not very good games.
Yeah.
Like, not very good at all. But it is the Dolphins who have Tyler Huntley. Still missing A-Chan. Like, they're not doing anything over there. And as much as I would like them to win, because damnation and fire to all the AFC South, I do see the Colts most likely winning that one. Like, whether it's Flacco, whether it's A-Rich, it doesn't matter. Like, I just don't have a lot of faith in Huntley. I thought they would look a little bit better. But they have not.
Yeah, Huntley sadly is kind of proving himself to be just a reliable backup at this rate. But yeah, I agree. The Colts are likely going to win this game, even if Anthony Richardson has a bad game himself. I still see him winning this game anyway because the Dolphins. I picked the Dolphins even after Tua has gone hurt. I picked them anyway because they had the weapons, but the backup quarterbacks just have done nothing with those weapons. So it's like there's no point in picking the Dolphins in any matchup really. So I'm taking the Colts by 7 in this one.
Yep.
Yeah, it's crazy how much the Dolphins. It feels like they can't win without Tua, and
Yeah.
it's no matter who they've had multiple guys go in there over the years when Tua's been out, and it just feels like the team just isn't an NFL team. It feels like they're not on the level of like the other 31 teams for some reason. But yeah, it's the Colts. It's got to be the Colts.
Yep. Colts round the board. The next one up is my personal game of the week: Lions Vikings. This better be a
This is gonna be a
game.
good one. Oh yeah, two NFC North Division opponents. Oh, that's gonna be a good one. Um, I I feel like the who's at home? Okay, the Vikings at home. Okay. I think this is gonna be a pretty even matchup. Like both teams have really good offenses. Both teams have, especially the Vikings, they surprisingly have a good defense. Um, so I guess for me, the question for this game: whose defense is gonna step up? That's what I want to know. Because this game could go either way because it's a divisional game and we all know how that goes. This could be like an absolute shootout. This could be a defensive showdown. You don't really know. But for me, I kind of like the Vikings more in this matchup. I'm going to take the Vikings by 3.
Yeah, see, this is where I'm about to break off. I'm going Lions.
Oh no.
Like,
Oh, all right.
Vikings defense may be good, but the Lions have weapons everywhere on offense.
This is
Receivers,
true.
2 running backs that can do whatever the heck they want when they get the ball. And Goff, as long as he plays like the Goff we've been seeing the past couple of weeks, I think it's going to be close, but I think the Lions win it.
I see. I've been really high on the Vikings this year. I feel like they're the best team from the beginning of the season till now. I feel like they've been the best team, but I feel like they're about to get knocked off. I feel like they're not going to be undefeated anymore. The Lions have just been playing really well. The past 2 weeks, they've looked really, really good. And I don't know. Both teams are so stacked. And the Vikings are coming off a bye too, but I think that Aaron Jones isn't healthy right now, even though he might still play. And I just with 50% confidence, I'm taking the Lions. But it could really go either way.
Yeah, the way I see it is the offenses comparing the two receivers, honestly about even. Tight end, I think you have to give that to the Lions. Running backs, you got to give that to the Lions. Quarterback might be about even, but the Lions just seem like the better offense to me.
Yeah. Excuse me.
Yeah, I think this. I agree with Jose. I think it's got to be. I don't know about. Yeah, between that one and maybe one or two others, game of the week for sure. Um, Lions though losing Aiden Hutchinson, like that was major. Like it didn't make much of a difference. I mean, we saw what they did to the Cowboys.
Beat the brakes off them.
I just don't know if they're going to repeat that going over to the Viking Stadium. Like, I really don't. The way they've been playing, I mean, Vikings are what 5-0. This is week 7, yeah. So
Yep.
they're
Yeah.
5-0, and they've just absolutely dominated in every game on all aspects.
Except for
That
their last
defense
one,
is
I
so
think.
scary. Like, their defense was terrifying playing us. So I think it's gonna be good. I think it's gonna be good the whole game. But like Jose said, I feel like I do think the Lions have more weapons, just across the board. I mean, who saw that Tim Patrick was gonna have the game he had? Like, who expected that? Like, out of nowhere, like, you're like, we got Amon-Ra, we've got Laporta, we've got Gibbs and Montgomery, and then all of a sudden Tim Patrick just has a game that no one saw coming. Even Jamison Williams, it's like, who saw that out of nowhere? So, I mean, they just keep finding these pieces. But, I mean, you got Addison back, you got Jettas, but like Paul said, you don't got Aaron Jones. So it's like,
You might.
it's kind of favoring
I
the
don't think it's been
Lions.
confirmed.
He might, but I don't see
Yeah,
it
but is a
happening, like,
banged
based
up
on the way
Aaron
them
Jones
talking.
better than either
Yeah.
Montgomery or Gibbs? No.
Exactly, yeah. That's just such a besides Lamar and like Derrick Henry, which is QB RB, but that's a double RB headed dragon that's just ridiculously. And they just re-signed Montgomery. He had 2 years left, and they said, "Hey, guess what? We're going to give you 2 more years." So it's like, well, we know what they're doing for the next 4 years. Like it's crazy. So I'm inclined to agree with Paulo. Like it's literally 50-50. I wrote down Vikings, but I think I'm gonna switch and I'm gonna say Lions. Like
No.
Chris on his
I'm
own.
talking myself.
No.
I'm talking myself out of it. Like I literally wrote. I've got my week 7 list I'm reading off of, and I had Vikings over Lions, but I don't think so. Like I think the
Yeah.
Lions do pull this one.
Yep. Well, 3 versus
fine, I'll be
1
odd man
again. Next up, Eagles at the Giants. I don't know what to do with this one, honestly.
I do.
The Eagles just.
I do. I think you're making it too tough.
Yeah, I know what I'm doing.
I think we're giving. I think you're giving a lot of credit. I already know where you're going with this. I think you're just giving way too much credit to Daniel Jones and the Giants.
Oh, it's not the
It's the
offense I'm
Eagles
giving
and
credit
Giants.
to. It's not the
I know.
offense I'm giving credit to. It's their defense
But
for holding the
It's
Bengals.
Eagles. Yeah, it's Eagles. I don't care really what the defense has done. The offense is gonna do absolutely nothing. Like I don't feel like
Yeah.
they're gonna do anything against the Eagles defense. So that Giants defense can do whatever they want, slow the offense, but they're still gonna score. Saquon, AJ, Devontae, Goddard, like they're gonna score.
Yeah.
I
So
think it's
I see
easily
it simple
Eagles as
Eagles.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the Giants, look, I mean, you can look at the score of the Giants holding the Bengals, but I mean, the score doesn't tell the full story. The Bengals fumbled 3 times, so
Mm-hmm.
the Eagles aren't going to do that.
No,
Oh,
you're not seeing
99% chance they're not going to do that.
No. Because I mean, you've got Saquon back there who has. Does anyone know how many times he's fumbled? I don't think he's fumbled at all this year.
it's not
This year, I
Saquon.
don't.
Yeah.
It's not Saquon that's the issue. It's Hurts.
You think he's going to fumble 3 times?
No, it's not necessarily fumbles. It's interceptions. He finds ways to turn the ball over pretty much every game.
Yeah, he even had 3 turnovers against the Saints, and they still barely won.
I mean, that's true, but I think it's the same old Giants. I see we get spurts of Daniel Jones. It's like, that's that Danny Dimes that got paid. But then it's always the regression.
And the other thing I need to think about with this is Neighbors back, which I
He
don't
should be back
think.
this week, yeah.
Yeah, he should be,
He's
but
been
we
out
don't
2
know.
weeks.
We don't know for sure
Yeah.
yet. If he is out
It's
another
most
week,
likely he's back.
yeah. But if he is
Yeah,
out another
it's
week,
been
it's
3
even
weeks.
more of a lock for the Eagles. But yeah,
Yeah.
y'all are right. It's most likely going to be the Eagles. But honestly, it depends on what Eagles we get. If we get the good Eagles, yeah, they're winning easy. If we get the bad Eagles, it's close. Honestly, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with Jose with that. Like, I'm still picking Eagles, but I'm also a little aware of how the Eagles have been playing as of late. In fact, I could see them struggling with the Giants, and that might sound a bit
Especially because it's a
unbelievable.
division team.
Yep. So, yeah, Daniel Jones is trash, but in some bizarre way, the Eagles just downplay their opponent way too often as of late. And like the way they did with the Saints and the way we did the Browns, it's like I don't necessarily trust this Eagles team, but I still trust them enough to where they can win the game. So I'm taking the Eagles by 3 and only by 3.
Oh, Eagles cross the board. Next up, Raiders, Rams. I don't know what to do.
It's the Rams. It's the
It's-
Rams. The Raiders didn't look good. What?
Go
What?
ahead, Paulo.
What?
No, go ahead, Paulo. No.
Oh, I was gonna say it's the Rams. The Raiders didn't look
Yeah.
good with Devontae Adams, and now they don't have him. You got Aiden
That's what I'm
O'Connell,
gonna
who
say.
looked anemic last week.
Well, to be
You know, who
honest,
you
What are
throwing
we-
to?
what are
Jacoby
we
Myers
doing
and Brock
here, though?
Bowers
Like,
only?
to be
We're
honest,
saying I don't know what to
Paulo,
do, and it's literally Matt Stafford and that offense. Like even without Cooper Cup and Puka, like
the
we're
offense
still
that's 1
saying
and 4.
they're still putting up points. Go back and look. They're still putting
Yeah.
up yardage. Like what
The
about
offense
Aiden
that
O'Connell
beat
and that
the
offense? It's like,
49ers?
oh, we're gonna beat. Yeah, thank
But
you.
what I'm
Who was
what
their
I'm
win against
saying,
the Niners?
what I'm saying is with the Raiders, and like you were saying, Paulo, no Devontae, they haven't had Devontae for weeks. This would
Yeah,
have been
they
like the
haven't been
third
good.
or fourth week.
Yeah, they've been atrocious.
Yeah, they haven't been good without him.
It was
I
so
know, but
bad
I'm
they
just
went from
saying.
a vet to a second year, and guess what? They're still bad. Like,
Yeah, it's been so bad that Minshew lost the starting job.
It's just I don't know how much faith I can put in the Rams.
enough to beat the Raiders.
It's not that I have faith in the Rams. It's that I can have like maybe 2% faith in the Rams and 0 in the Raiders.
Like that.
Literally,
2%
give me
milk.
one acorn for the Rams, and they still beat the Raiders. Like
2 chips and a Coke.
Matthew Stafford can literally throw to a blade of grass and still win.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, you got
what
a
are we
better
doing?
quarterback, a better coach, you got a better running back. I mean,
You still have
receivers,
Tutu
they
Atwell
are what
and
they are,
Robinson.
but
I mean,
yeah.
but Atwell's done work. We've seen it. Robinson's done work. Like these guys have, I wouldn't say carried, but they've stepped up in the absence of 2-star receivers and still put
Which,
up points.
by
and
the way, do
yardage.
they even know when they can expect to have Puka
Cup
or
It should be
I
within the
actually,
next few weeks. He's actually practicing. Puka's going to
Yeah.
be a while.
yeah, Puka is gonna be a while, but I heard that Cooper Cup is definitely practicing, and they're hoping to have him within the next game or two. But kind of depends how his
They've
progress
opened up his
goes.
21-day window. Yeah,
Yeah,
his is open. He's back on the field. They're saying week 8 is when they want to have
Yeah.
him back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's with the Raiders, like what do you believe in with the Raiders team right now? Daniel Carlson to kick the ball. That's about it. Whoever their punter is, maybe.
Carlson.
God.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Brock Bowers is having a season, but
Yeah.
that's just not gonna carry. This isn't Mahomes and Kelsey. Like it's Aiden O'Connell and Brock Bowers. Like
Yeah.
Which I'm not even
It
sure
doesn't
at
matter
this
how
point.
good Brock Bowers is when you got Aiden O'Connell.
I'm not even sure at this
Yeah.
point who they have for receiver because I believe Jacoby Myers is out too. I think he was hurt this
Oh,
Myers
past
well,
week.
is
there you
out.
go.
That's what I'm saying. Like you're
There you
literally
go. There's
describing
I
that-
wasn't.
yourself.
I wasn't
started
thinking
off a
about
single
that.
one.
I wasn't thinking about that
You
when
started
I.
off the conversation with, "Well, I don't know how this one's gonna go, bro."
Yeah, I
Come
wasn't
on.
thinking about that when I made that statement. I forgot. Well, then is it Rams around the board then?
yeah.
Well, the next one should be the same. Panthers at the Commanders.
Oh, Commanders all day.
Jaden
Panthers
Daniels
stand
is
no
about to
chance.
light the Panthers up.
Yeah, he's about to make them cry. Like,
Oh, you was
it's
about to
gonna
say
be
something else.
sad
I
for
know
the
you were.
I had to choose my words carefully there, but but yeah, like the Commanders just they played really well against the Ravens last week. They didn't win, but they played really well, and I couldn't be happy for them because Jane Daniels shows he's got so much potential where he can actually play well against a good team. But of course, you got to go to the extra mile to actually win the game. So
well, it's not just that for the Commanders. Last week, they need defensive improvements. They've been getting better, but it's still not quite there.
Yeah, and let's be honest, it was hard for the Commanders to even contain Lamar Jackson and
Derrick
Henry. So it's hard. So, but for this matchup, easy. It's just too easy. I had the Commanders winning by at least 10.
Y'all ready for this?
Don't you dare!
I'm just playing. I'm just playing.
About to say, I will drive back over there and slap you.
No, it's Commanders by 3
We'll
touchdowns.
grab the fish.
By 3 touchdowns. Jeez.
Yeah, Commanders are gonna wipe the floor with the Panthers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't disagree.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what I have. Like, as much as Andy Dalton started off doing for the Panthers, it's just also ended in like last week got to the point where they just put Bryce Young in. Like, what are we expecting? Like, we're still expecting them to finish last.
Yeah, they're definitely better with Dalton, but it's still not enough to beat most of the teams.
You lost Thielen. Yeah, you lost a wide receiver 1 that has a lot of faith and trust, and Leggett is just a rookie who's not developed or has that trust yet. So
yeah, right now you got mainly Deontay Johnson.
Designate Jay Brooks. They did designate Jonathan Brooks for his 21-day window as well. So at least for the backfield, that's some help.
Yeah, Miles Sanders ain't back there anymore once he comes in.
Exactly.
But this is going to be a blowout. It's 100% in my mind. This is a blowout. Even if the Commanders, the Commanders' defense isn't anything amazing, but it'll be enough for the Panthers. And the offense firing on all cylinders, they're mopping the floor with them. And if the Panthers have any semblance of thinking that they're winning this, put up that one video from the old man dressed as Dracula. They must have amnesia. They forgot that he's him. Next up, we got Chiefs Niners Super Bowl rematch.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. After what I saw this past week, Niners.
I'm gonna disagree with that. I'm taking Chiefs, mainly because granted they're at home. I'm gonna say who's at home is the Niners.
It's the Niners.
Home. I don't know. It's just the Chiefs look like they're starting to slowly but surely get things moving on offense. Not saying they haven't, but it's just I can't pick against the Chiefs because every time I do, they still win. So it's like with the Niners, like sure they looked good last week against the Seahawks with some of their players coming back, but the Chiefs defense is also nothing to mess around with. I mean, ask the Saints. Granted, the Saints suck too, but still. But it's I'm taking Chiefs, but it's gonna be as close as the Super Bowl. I'm taking Chiefs by 3.
I'll take the Niners. I think that the Chiefs have been looking pretty decent on offense. Obviously, they're undefeated. But I have liked what I've seen from the Niners in the last week or maybe 2. I can't remember what the week before was. But the Chiefs aren't going undefeated, and someone's gonna have to knock them off. And I think the Niners have one of the best shots of doing that. Jordan Mason's been running the ball well. You've got a lot of guys back healthy, Kittle and Debo and all them. Brock Purdy looks pretty good. McCaffrey, obviously is missed, but the run game hasn't suffered too much without him. I think that the Chiefs looked good last game. I think it was last game against the Saints. Was that the last game they played?
Because they went on bye.
Yeah. I think they looked good against the Saints, but the Niners are a class above the Saints.
Yeah.
They're not going to make a lot of the mistakes that we made, especially with like throwing picks. I doubt Purdy's going to be doing a lot of that. I don't know. I think that the Niners have a good shot. It's not going to be pretty, but I think they'll get the win in the end.
Yep. Will's turn.
No, I agree with everything Paulo said. Like literally, like especially the run game. What's wild is McCaffrey's out. Mason steps up, can run the ball not elusively or as effectively as McCaffrey, but it gets yardage. But then he goes out, and that backup has a game that no one expects. Like, who's heard of this guy? No one knows who he is, and he just has a game himself. So,
Does that
like,
mean
even when they
at
have
this point can
people-
any running back be thrown back there and do good?
I mean, it looks like it.
Yeah.
Like literally
yes
third
and
string that
no.
no one's heard of just absolutely goes off.
Yeah,
But
it's
I
it's
agree.
that O line. It's easy
Yeah.
to run behind one of the best O lines in the league.
Go back and look at the gaps that they leave for whatever run play it is. Like if it's to the right, like the right is just wide open, like the Red Sea. Like it's ridiculous. But I mean, they've always had that. I mean, when you have Trent Williams on the left side, like that old line is just ridiculous. So yeah, I think I agree with Paulo. Like if there's a team to do it, it's gonna be it should have been Baltimore week 1,
Yeah.
but we're gonna let that slide. But you know, if there's a team to do it, it's this team.
It should have been Baltimore week
Alright.
1, but they were a toe too far.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'll be the odd man out for this one.
Yep, you will be known for this week as the only one who picked the Chiefs to win. All right, next up, Sunday Night Football. Jets at the Steelers. Steelers defense is still firing on all cylinders like it has been for the majority of this season so far. Offense is looking a little better each week. The Jets, not so much the same, but in certain areas it's similar. Improvements. They didn't look as bad this past week as they have. And now, I don't know if he's going to be playing this week, but Davante Adams, your receiver room is kind of stacked at the moment.
Ending the Garrett Wilson trade if they ever get that off, but
They better not do that.
That'd be some.
Why would they do that?
That would be terrible to do to Garrett Wilson.
That would be awful.
Like
I know. Talk about a complete wrench thrown at your confidence. Like if that were to ever happen.
The thing for me is when Rodgers came to the Jets, they were talking about, oh, he's got such good chemistry with Wilson, like they have a connection that they think is going to result in a lot of, big things. And then Davante comes in and that connection is just gone in favor of his connection with Davante. That's like, did the kid ever really matter?
Probably not.
It doesn't. It just doesn't make sense for them to do that whatsoever. Because, like, what value do you have in trading Wilson? Like, if you're trying to compete and win a Super Bowl, Rodgers is not young. Like, you got to do that in the next couple of years.
Yeah.
Why would you get rid of like a key piece to making that happen? Like what are you gonna get in return? Draft picks? Because by the time you can use those draft picks, like it's gonna be your window for competing is gonna be fading away.
Yeah.
But hey, if they want to trade him, we need some receiver help.
Dude, that would be great. If we get Garrett Wilson.
Garrett Wilson's not going to the Saints. Don't even.
No, he's not. But
he's too smart.
Yeah.
But let's keep in mind, they're forgetting something about Pittsburgh. That Russell Wilson could be starting this week. Not even Justin Fields. They're talking about Mike Tomlin's talking about if he is healthy enough that he could be QB1 just like that, without a question. So who even says that chemistry works like at all or gets better from what Fields has done? I mean, we saw his first season in Denver was atrocious. Who's to say his first season in Pittsburgh isn't the exact same thing? I say if it's not broke, don't fix it for Pittsburgh. Who cares how healthy Wilson is? Justin Fields is
Yeah,
doing just fine.
Yep.
Could the
yeah,
offense
because
fire a little bit better? Yeah. Could the passes be better? Yeah. Could there be more yardage? Of course. But it's not broke. Leave it alone.
Yeah, you're winning games.
Don't mess with the chemistry. He's building the chemistry. The team's with him. Let it be.
yeah, I agree. Because when I heard the news, I was like, that's a good way to wreck the chemistry that y'all got established so far into the season. You're 4-2 entering this week, and sure, the offense isn't picture perfect under Justin Fields, but he's still doing enough to win games. So it's like keep him in there and let him continue to find ways to win games. Still, it's like I full heartedly believe that he should still be the star for this week. I don't think it's a good idea to completely switch quarterbacks when you're already on a good roll right now.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't like that whatsoever. So
They should put them both out there and do an option play so you don't know which one of them's going to throw the pass.
Oh no.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
Chad
that's how you
appears
cause a lot of
again.
that's how you cause a lot of animosity though. Like no matter what one or the other says, like you can cause a lot of issues doing stuff like that, which will break down a team instantaneously.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I still have Steelers over the Jets. I don't care about
I'm gonna do the
Devontae. I
same.
don't care about Rodgers. I don't care anything because
The
the way
Steelers
they're
have the
playing in
superior
general,
defense right now.
yeah, the way they're playing in general in New York is just there's nothing like, oh yeah, they're gonna win. There's just nothing
yeah,
definitive.
yeah. I agree. I'm taking Steelers all day, but by at least 7.
Why do I feel like I know what's about to happen?
Yeah, I'm about to be the odd man out. Is what's about to happen.
Oh,
The Jets
Wow.
should have beat the Bills this past week. They should have. They had
oh
it in
my
their hands and
God.
they let it slip away. Look, the Steelers do have a better defense, but the Jets' defense is nothing to scoff at. The Steelers' offense is not. It's better than it was last year. It's decent, but it's not great. Like it's not great, and they're going against a good Jets defense. I'm expecting some issues, and I'm expecting the Jets to be even more improved. Like you can say that you don't care if they got Devontae, but I mean, the teams that are going up against them care. You best believe that. Got Wilson, got Devontae. Brees Hall had his best game of the year last week.
Not to
You
mention
know,
Lazard.
Allen, yeah, Lazard, Mike Williams is still there, Conklin. Look,
You're not
I
gonna
mean,
convince me. You're not gonna convince me.
I don't need to convince you. The
You
Jets will
trying. It
convince you
sounds
on
like it.
Sunday.
It sounds like you trying to convince me.
Nah, I'm
You're
not
trying to
trying to
serenade
convince
me.
you. Nah, I'm just saying that the Jets offense is better than the Steelers. And I know the Steelers defense is better, but you know, we'll see. We'll see. You got the good parts of both teams going up against each other, and then the weaker parts of both teams going up against each other.
Counterbalance.
And we'll see. We'll see what shakes loose in the end. The Jets are also a little bit harder to prepare against now because you got the addition of Devontae Adams. You got another head coach and another OC. So you know, we'll see what the Steelers defense can prepare for.
Yeah. Paulo's record this week is either about to be really good or really bad.
Yeah, we'll see. Chris too. He's odd man out twice already.
3 times.
This is true.
Well,
Yes.
next up, we got 2 Monday night games again. Why are we still doing this? Ravens Buccaneers, another contender for game of the week.
Yeah,
This
this will
is
be.
this is
I
gonna be
will
a
be
good one.
watching this one more than the other one. I don't care about the other one at all.
Yeah, I think this is gonna be a battle between two really good teams. As long as Baker Mayfield doesn't keep making Apple turnovers. But yeah. Anyway, so this is gonna be a hard matchup. But for me, I'm giving the slight edge to the Bucks because they're at home, and I think their offense can spread the ball around pretty well against that Ravens defense. It comes down to if the Buccaneers defense can stop Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry, because if you stop both of them, you're going to win this game. But can they do that is the question.
I don't think so.
So,
Yeah.
I don't think
Short
so
answer, no. I'm taking the Ravens.
Same.
I mean, we've seen the Bucks struggle, and we've seen Baltimore struggle, but Baltimore just came off of a good game against a really good team, and the Bucks have been doing good as well, but Rashad White will be back, and that's going to make the run game a committee issue against one of the best run defenses in Baltimore. So you're gonna have that not really working for you. As far as the passing game, I think they can, but I think like on the flip side, they're not going to stop Lamar. They're not going to stop Derrick Henry. The pass game looks good last week as well for Baltimore. Everything's clicking for Baltimore, and the Bucks run game is not going to be what it was this past weekend.
No, because our run defense just kind of sucked.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think the Bucks run defense is going to do much against
Baltimore's defense can make tackles.
Yeah.
Unlike ours.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, as much as I would like Baker to win, as I like seeing that boy ball, brother, 3 INTs against a broken Saints defense is just atrocious.
One of them by Cam Jordan, by the way.
Honest, yeah, who, all of a sudden we talk about him and he performs really well the next week, but yeah, the Ravens defense is better. That's hard to say. Hold on, I've had him in fantasy, and week in and week out, like it's not like fantasy point wise, like looking at it, like they're one of the bottom teams when it comes to defense, but at the same time, they make stops. Like looking at it, I want to say Baker, but after that performance, it's hard to say anything. Because if that had been like Derek Carr, that game could have went a completely different direction, like 100%. I think like that game would have been much closer, if not a win, because it was Spencer's first game. But I'm going to say Baltimore, but there is a chance that Baker does Baker things, straightens things up, and just absolutely balls out. No interceptions, no fumbles, but the chances of that are very slim. But he could have that game, and I hope he does. I really want to see it, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Is Chris the odd man out again?
Yep.
No.
Well,
you changed your mind.
Oh, you changed your mind?
Well, I think y'all might have misunderstood. I said I gave him the slight edge, but I didn't necessarily actually pick them.
Oh, he's acting like Jose. Here we go.
Hey!
It's like, the way I pictured it, it's like they have a chance to beat them, but the Ravens are just, I think they're going to be too much for the Bucks. I could be wrong. The Bucks might end up giving them a fight. But I'm picking the Ravens for this one as more like a safe bet than a risky bet. So
Will taking shots at me for no reason.
Well, not for no reason.
Yes, for no reason, you whore. All right, last game of the week, Chargers-Cardinals. I'm picking Chargers just because of the defense.
Yeah, Chargers. Don't even question. Don't even care.
Yep.
Yeah.
Chargers defense better. Cardinals defense not very good. So
we saw it last weekend.
Yeah, it's
It's
not much to talk
bad.
about there. But
even with Marvin Harrison possibly back this week, bad.
Yeah. Only 2 teams on bye this week, Bears, Cowboys. Cowboys are trying to heal themselves from the absolute mud stomping they got.
Yeah. And the Bears are recuperating from their trip to London, so that kind of makes sense. Get back, they're probably all jet lagged and all.
Yeah.
So
It's
Jerry needs to put down a Kona in the training facility.
Okay, nobody's gonna get that joke, Paul.
No, they will. They will understand.
Oh no.
I don't think people are gonna get that.
Just put Konas in the locker room.
Oh no.
I'll put a picture of one on screen. Well, that takes care of week 7. We will return for week 8.
Football.